Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to my channel. My name is Halima, and on this channel we are all about living a life pleasing to Allah and healing holistically. So in today's video I wanted to talk about suffering. For some reason suffering has been on my mind the past few weeks. And I wanted to talk about it, but then I was like, you know what, maybe I should just wait until I feel like I am personally like in a better place with this thing, suffering itself. Then I can, like share some of the things that I learned and stuff like that. But I think that sometimes it's important to have these conversations in the thick of it while we are all going through it, experiencing it, and just sharing our thoughts and reflections. And after that, in a recent session, it came up in one of my sessions with my coach. And while we were talking about it, she encouraged me to make a video about it. She really encouraged me. And I was like, okay, I was thinking about it and I was feeling inspired to talk about it. And then after my session, I went on YouTube to just, watch something or whatever. And a video came up by Ustada Yasmin Mujahid. And the video was titled, "Why Do We Suffer?" or something like that. I'm going to put it on the screen somewhere. But I saw that video and I watched and I was like, okay, like this cannot be a coincidence. Like I need to talk about this. So I really enjoyed that video, and I highly recommend it for anyone who is interested in this topic. But it got me thinking a lot about suffering. So the first thing that I don't know if something that I heard from the video, because I do consume a lot of her content. And I also read her book, Healing the Emptiness, and I learned a lot from that book. And I also highly recommend that book. I'm actually gonna show a little clip of my book because it's like very toe up. But yeah, so the first thing that I wanted to point out, I think it's a very important reminder, is that Allah says, come here, let's get closer to me. Sis, Allah did not create you to suffer. Allah did not create you to suffer. Breathe that in, breathe it out. Okay, so now that we understand that Allah did not create us to suffer, yes, so that would lead me to talk about the difference between suffering and pain, because I think that it's something that we get confused, and in the past I actually didn't realize or notice like the distinction until I read that book. And I'm just going to paraphrase. Essentially, pain is an essential part of life. It's just, it has a purpose. And I remember she talked about that in the book, like pain has a purpose. And, excuse me, it has a purpose. And the purpose of pain is to let us know that something is wrong. It's an alarm to point us to something that we need to work on, something that needs our attention. And that's essentially what it is. Allah does not create anything without a purpose. Everything has a purpose, even pain itself. So pain being an alarm system. And I think the analogy she used for pain is like the whatchamacallit. What is the thing called? The Oh my God, why am I blanking out? What is the thing called? The smoke detectors in our house. So that's the analogy she used for pain. A smoke detector's purpose is the same as what pain is, because a smoke detector tells you that there's something going on. It's an alarm system, like, hey, there's a fire, something's going on that needs your attention. And that's essentially what pain is. It's supposed to let you know that something is wrong, something needs your attention, something needs to be worked on and fixed and whatnot. And that's an essential part of our life. We will experience that all through our life, regardless of what type of situation we are in. that's going to always be there. Suffering, on the other hand, is a cycle. Oh, I forgot to mention this. One thing about pain is it also has an expiration date, in terms of when we think about it, in terms of Allah testing us. Like, a test does not just come and like just stay there for like our whole life. Like, no, that's not the purpose of it. So when we get signaled, like we're going through pain, we're experiencing something isn't right. It is our job then to figure out where it's coming from, what it is, what can we do about it to stop the pain, and work on whatever needs to be done to take care of that issue. And there's always a solution to every issue. But when we neglect that pain and try to act like it's not there, or try to numb it in different ways, suppress it, like whatever, it turns into suffering, because we're continuously experiencing that year after year after year after year, and it's just like a never ending cycle. That is what suffering is. And oh my God, like, it's just, that's not, I feel like however I want to like get my points across, like I feel like I can't even find the correct words to like really do this justice. Like, we were not created to suffer. We were not created to suffer. Suffering is not, it's not anything to be proud of. And this brings me to one of the things that I was also thinking about. Because while I was thinking about this, I was like, I'm just going to make this video and just share some of my thoughts and reflections and some of the things that I've learned about it, because just to put it out there. And I just hope that someone out there finds it beneficial. And this is also a reminder to myself. Everything I'm saying right now is like I'm also eating it up. So suffering, suffering is not the state that we should live in. It's not something we should accept. It's not something we should just normalize. And it's been normalized a lot. A lot. Every little thing is like, oh, have sabr. Oh, it's okay. Like, that's just how life is. And that like normalization of it, it just like it is so draining, and it takes so much out of the human being. Because when you are experiencing that suffering, and you're constantly in pain, you're miserable, and it just keeps getting worse, because the more you allow it to continue, like the worse it gets. And the the most detrimental part of it is that it affects every aspect of your life, even your relationship with Allah. Because that right there, like that suffering is taking so much of your energy. It's like so draining, taking so much of your energy, to the energy that you could have been putting into waking up for tahajjud and praying to Allah, istighfar, like doing so many other like beneficial things. But because you're just like drained and you feel depleted, you have no energy, you always feel tired, you're always miserable, and you just find ways to like drown it by like binge watching shows or whatever. And you're just wasting your life. Like, it really, really affects you. It affects your relationship with Allah, because going to, you're not in the right mental space, the right anything. Like, you're not in your right mind, you're not in your fitra, like you just are miserable. And that makes it really hard for you to focus on your relationship with Allah, focus on your relationship with yourself, thinking about like goals and like doing really amazing things with your life. It makes it really hard. It makes it really, really hard. Even when you try to do things, like the weight of this suffering just keeps draining your energy. So we need to stop normalizing this as if it's like okay and it's just something that you just have to live with, because you don't. You don't. And after talking about suffering being normalized. Something that I also noticed is that suffering has become a badge of honor. I'm not sure if this is something that's prevalent in other cultures, but within the African culture, it is highly, highly prevalent. It's like the more a woman, specifically for women, the more a woman suffers, the more she's able to suffer and quote unquote have sabr, the more she is seen as like, oh, she's so, oh my gosh, she's such a strong woman. Oh, she's an amazing woman. She's a strong woman. We need to redefine what a strong woman is. We really need to redefine what a strong woman is. Because when we create this idea of, or this is what a strong woman is someone who, a woman who endures a lot, like has a lot of endurance, endures a lot of pain, a lot of suffering for decades. Just everything about her life is just hard, and she just had to like go, go through hell, like stuff like that. Like it's like, oh yeah, that's a strong woman. Like it's like idolized in the African community. Like, yeah, that's what a strong woman is. And no, that is not what a strong woman is. And we get fed this from a young age. A lot of us get fed this idea from a young age because we probably watched our mothers be this way, and then we think that, okay, yeah, this is how it is. This is how life is. This is how I have to be to show and prove that I'm a good woman, or I'm a great woman, or I'm a strong woman. And I realized like this idea of like what a strong woman is and what a woman should be, it definitely, I I definitely soaked it up. And I remember like growing up, probably like when I was like around 19, I I know I saw there's this girl that I don't really know her like in person, but I had her on social media, and like we used to talk, like comment on each other's stuff and stuff like that. And she is like the most, not like in the past I didn't know like the correct words. I didn't really know what was going on, but I used to always look at her as weak. Like she's not someone that I would point to and be like, "Ooh, that's a strong woman." And let me just give you a little description. Like she's very beautiful. She is very feminine. And this is the biggest part. She is very, very feminine. Like her femininity, like you can sense it, you can see it, you can feel it. She's very, very feminine. She is soft. She 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 really takes care of herself. Like really, really takes care of herself, takes care of her skin, her hair. She really pampers herself. Like she goes to the spa. And I don't know her personally, like I said, but I, from all of that, like from seeing how she treats herself and how she takes care of herself, I can assume that even when she gets into like relationships or marriage or whatever, she would get with the type of guy that would like really shower her, like treat her like a princess. And at the time, like I didn't look at her thinking that's a strong woman, but that's a strong woman. That is the definition of a strong woman, a woman who truly is in tune with herself. She is exactly what Allah created her to be, feminine. She is feminine and she owns her femininity. She doesn't run away from it. Like that's her power. Like femininity is so powerful. It's so like when a woman is in her feminine, like that's so powerful. It's so magnetic. Like it's just so beautiful. And subhanallah, like I wish I knew this earlier. I wish that this was modeled for me. A woman acting masculine and like just go and like literally like killing herself to do everything. Like that's no, honey, that's not how it's supposed to be. That's not the design of Allah. That is not the way it was supposed to be. Like, we got it. Ooh. Yeah. So, yeah. So, years later, probably like a decade later, I'm now learning that she is the definition of a strong woman. She's beautiful. She's attuned with herself. She takes care of herself. She knows who she is. She's confident in herself, and she expects the best treatment from people, the best, like nothing less than the best, because she knows her worth. She knows what she deserves and what she don't deserve. She knows what she's going to accept and what she's not going to accept. I'm not saying, like, if I'm at this point, like, I'm just going off of her and like also adding what a strong woman is. I don't know her personally, so I can't really speak to, like, those fine details. But that's just what I see when now that is my idea of what a strong woman is. And I think that a lot of us need to really look into that and redefine a lot of those things. Redefine the fact that suffering is not normal and it's not something you should accept for your life. That's one. Two, Allah did not create you to suffer. Allah did not create you and me to suffer. Three, suffering is not a badge of honor. Because you're suffering and you're like going through hell and back, or constantly in pain, and you're just like, yeah, I'm just gonna have sabr. I'm so strong. I'm just having sabr. Like, that's not sabr. That's not. You're so depleted that you don't even have the energy to, like, truly put into yourself, truly put into your kids, truly put into your relationship with Allah, truly put into the world around you. You're depleted. So that's not sabr. That's just like killing yourself, literally. You're literally sacrificing yourself and killing yourself and just erasing yourself for everything else. It's not worth it. It is not worth it at all. I just wish that I knew this earlier. Oh my God. Let me try to I'm trying to see if there's something else I had wrote down that I wanted to talk about this topic. Um, yep, I spoke about suffering as a badge of honor and then owning the fact that we have a hand. Yeah, like I think I already kind of touched on that. Like, we kind of, like, it's not our fault that, these we grow up thinking that this is how things are and this is how it should be. However, like, in adulthood, just like trauma, like childhood trauma is not your fault, but as an adult, it's your responsibility to do something about it so that you don't continue it, you don't pass it on. And the idea of suffering being normal and, like, oh, it's like what it means to be a strong woman, like, those things, we didn't teach ourselves those things, but it's definitely our responsibility to unlearn it and truly come back to, like, unlearn it and just do better. Yeah. Like, it's just crazy how many, like, how many, like, people, how many women are stuck in this cycle, stuck in this mentality. Like, it's very, very sad. It's very sad. So, all in all, I think that it starts with us believing that Allah did not create us to suffer, and suffering is not sunnah. Suffering is not, like, keeping ourselves in a cycle of suffering. Is not sabr. That's not the meaning of sabr. And also understanding that once we have that understanding, also realizing that Allah would not take us out of our suffering until we change what is within ourselves. He does not change the condition of a people until they change what is within themselves. So there's a reason why we keep ourselves in these cycles. We need to unlearn a lot of things. We need to learn the proper things. We need to heal our wounds. And we need to, once we heal our wounds, honestly, like it all shifts from there. It really, like, the game changes. Like everything changes. You take off the glasses and now you're able to see things for what they really, really are. And baby, ain't no going back. So, so yeah, some resources to start from, because you guys know, like I will always talk about, and like I will always stress the fact that it's so important to work on our wounds and get a coach or a therapist and do what you got to do for you. Invest in yourself. But as a starting point, the video that I mentioned is a really good starting point for someone who wants to, learn about this topic further and just like listen. Like the video is amazing. Like I just feel like it should like go viral because a lot of people need this information. So definitely take advantage of this video. And the second resource I'm going to recommend is read Healing the Emptiness by Ustada Yasmin Mujahid. That book, I read that book in 2023. Yeah. So 3 years ago was it's 2025. 3 years ago. 2 years ago. So I read that book 2 years ago, and it's it's so in depth. It's life changing. Like for me, like the title just took me. Like the title was enough for me. Like I don't know how she came up with that title, but that's it. When I saw Healing the Emptiness, I was like, yeah, I need this, cuz I need this book. So I highly highly recommend that book. Like read it. She talks about like sabr, like what true sabr is. She gives like prophet stories. She talks about the purpose of pain. She talks about understanding and basically working on our suffering and healing our suffering. And she talks about it from different angles, like this environmental, psychological, biological, and spiritually. Like so she is holistic, and y'all know that's all what I'm about. I'm all about holistic healing because you can't the human being is so many different things. We're affected by so many different things, so we can't heal by just focusing on one aspect of ourselves and neglecting all the other parts. Healing is holistic. So yeah, I think that's all I got for this video today. Yeah, I know that it's been a while. I haven't posted in a little bit. Your sis is definitely going through some things, so please keep me in your du'as. And I have more content coming up, inshallah. And yeah. Oh, one thing I wanted to say. Over the past 2 weeks, I've been feeling I've been feeling like the loneliness of this journey, like becoming a better version of yourself, becoming like trying to live a life pleasing to Allah, especially when you are someone who wasn't always like that, and you're just like moving away from everything you knew before and like trying to move towards living a life pleasing to Allah. This journey can be very, very lonely, and I just feel like I'm like really, really starting to feel the absence of socializing and not having a community. So this idea came up to mind. I just want to like do a really calm like sister circle group on online, probably like Teams or like Zoom, and it would just be like 8 sisters, and we just vent and like talk and say what's on our mind and just like be there for each other. So I don't really have, it's not concrete yet, but inshallah I'll share more on it when it becomes finalized. So I hope that this video was beneficial. I pray that Allah sends it to all the hearts that need to hear it. And until next time, masalama. I love you guys. Bye.